Hey Lizzie, I have your quiz here, so let's go through the questions that you missed, and then you can try a retake. So when you're evaluating functions, you're basically taking an input or an x value and trying to figure out what the output is. And we can go the other way around too. You can be given the output and try to figure out what the input was. We can do that with the equation, which is the example you see here. You can see it off of a graph or a table. So in this question, it's telling you that f of x is equal to 6x minus 4, and it's asking you what is f of x when x equals 8. So this is kind of like an input-output. So the input is 8. You are going to substitute it in for x in that expression. So you're finding or calculating f of 8. So we're going to take 6 times 8 and then subtract 4. That's the rule, says take x, multiply it by 6, and then subtract 4. So this is 48 minus 4, which is 44. Question 2, let me see if I have to scoot this over a little. Nope, need to move this. Question 2 says, Hiroto's texting plan costs $20 per month plus 5 cents per text message that is sent or received. Amelia's plan costs $10 per month and 25 cents per text. Using the graph below, which statement is true? So some things we can notice just by looking at the graph, I haven't even read the answers yet, is that Amelia's plan starts off much cheaper, only paying $10 per month, where Hiroto's paying $20 per month. But because she is charged more per text message, eventually you can see that after a certain number of text messages, her plan then becomes more expensive. You can also see the point where those two lines intersect, and that is where they cost the exact same amount for the exact same number of texts. So Hiroto's plan costs more than Amelia's plan when more than 50 texts are sent. That's not true. This is more than 50. Oh, let me switch back to my pen. This area in here is more than 50, and you can see Amelia's line is much higher than Hiroto's. So hers is actually more expensive after 50 texts. Both plans cost the same when 22 texts are sent. 22 would be somewhere right through here. Those lines do not intersect there, so that's not true. Amelia's plan costs more than Hiroto's plan when more than 22 texts are sent. Well, again, here was that 22 text mark. And while hers does end up getting more expensive, his is still more expensive through here from 22 to 50. So that one's not true. Both plans cost the same when 50 texts are sent. And there it is. 50 when x is 50 and x is the number of text messages. You can see that's where the two graphs intersect. And so both plans cost $22.50. So here you're looking for when do those graphs, it's the spot where the graphs intersect. Which represents where f of x equals g of x. Okay, so we talked about this a little bit in the assignment. F of x and g of x are going to be equal to each other where they intersect. And so you're looking for the x values where that happens. And you can draw a vertical line. So there's one x value at -4, and you can draw another vertical line, and this happens to be the origin, so that means x is 0. So they are equal to each other when x is -4 and when x is 0. Which statement is true regarding the functions? So if I just look at the correct one, so the blue one is f of x. So the correct one says when x is 2, y is 0. So when the input is 2, the output is 0. That is true. That ordered pair is 2, 0. And then g of -2, when g is -2, it is equal to 0, and that's also true. So g of x is the red one, and that ordered pair is -2, 0. So the one that's correct is saying when x is this number, y is that number. Which represents the inverse of the function? Okay, so inverse means you're solving it for the variable x, typically. So this one says that f of x equals 4x. And so the first thing I like to do is just change this f of x to a y. It's a little easier to work with. And so I'm going to solve the equation. Right now it's solved for y, and I need to solve it for x. So to get x by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by 4, and I get x equals 1/4 y. And then when you look here, you can see 1/4 x. So then what they do is they kind of like switch those variables back, but now it's not the f of x, it's just a different letter of x. So in this case, they're using h of x. So now I make this h of x, and I switch the y back to x. You're basically solving the equation for the other variable. Question 8 is, which statement is true? So this is all about where are they equal. Okay, so it looks like you might be getting x and y mixed up. When it says f of some number, that's x. This ordered pair where they intersect is at 0, -2. Remember, we go left and right in the x direction first from the origin, so this one doesn't go anywhere left or right, and it goes 2 down. So that's 0, -2. So it's true when f of 0 is equal to g of 0. And number 9 again is asking where are they equal. So this ordered pair is 0, 4, and this ordered pair is 2, 0. So when f of 0 equals g of 0, they intersect, and when f of 2 equals g of 2, they intersect. Again, we're always focusing on that x value. And I think you may have been looking at the y's. So just make sure you're always looking at x. I hope that's helpful. You do still have a couple attempts left. Let me know if you need anything else.